In the 1992 Summer Olympics in Barcelona, there was a young man named Derek Redmond who was participating in some of the track and field events. At this time, he was a very gifted sprinter, having once held the 400-meter world record. Derek was forced to withdraw from his event at the prior Olympic Games because of an injury that he sustained. So following 5 surgeries and grueling rehab, 1992 was his time, his moment. He was going to come out victorious. The stadium was packed with 65,000 fans. The starter pistol fired and Derek broke from the pack quickly, seizing the lead. Well, down the backstretch with just the last curve to go, he heard a pop and felt a sharp pain in his right hamstring. His muscle had torn. He pulled himself up. He tried to keep going, but his leg was too weak. He fell back to the ground, whimpering, his leg tremoring, but he rose up again, and he began hopping on the other leg. After going a short distance, he again succumbed to the pain and fell back to the ground. By that time, all of the other runners had finished the race and all eyes were on Derek. His face was twisted in agony, tears were streaming down his face, and there he was, all alone on the track. But then suddenly a man broke through the crowd and began running toward Derek. 2 security guards chased after him, but he yelled back to the guards and he said, "No, stop. That's my son out there. I'm going to help him." He reached his son, wrapped his arms around him, and he said, "Son, I'm here. Let's finish this together." The father put his arm around his boy's waist. His son held on to his father's shoulder, and along the track they trudged along, hobbling until they got right to the finish. And the father let go and let Derek cross the finish line on his own. Even in the worst time of Derek's life, his father was there to help. And with his father's help, he completed that race. But what can we learn from this story? Like the apostle used the imagery of a runner to illustrate our race for a crown, we take lessons as well from Derek's struggle. We too have a Father who loves us and who cares for us. Now, the love that was demonstrated by Derek's father was a love that was very strong, one that was very moving, very powerful. But our Heavenly Father's love for us exceeds the love of Derek's father. And if an earthly father is willing to do such good for his son, how much more will our Heavenly Father do for us? In 1 John 3 and verse 1, John writes, "See what kind of love the Father has given to us, in that we should be called children of God." And so we are. But also we learn from Derek that we don't need to give up, that no matter how hard things may be, we must press on. The Apostle Paul tells us that we run a race for a crown that will last forever. Our race is not a sprint. It's a race of endurance. And if we fall, we must rise up again and press on. But if we cease to run, if we fail to finish, then we have run in vain. Paul wrote in 1 Corinthians 9, beginning in verse 24, "Do you not know that those who run in a race all run, but only one receives the prize? Run in such a way that you may obtain it. And everyone who competes for the prize is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a perishable crown, but we for an imperishable." Friends, if we make it to heaven, it will be because our Father has been there with us. We cannot make it on our own. We must lean upon the Lord, submit ourselves to Him, trust in Him. James tells us that if we humble ourselves in the sight of the Lord, He will lift us up. Thank you for listening today. May God bless you.